Greetings, so my name is Keisha and I'm coming to you from sunny South Florida, Zone 11. And I just want to show you what waiting for what you really want in your garden, or really just any area within your life, can look like. So I am going to be transforming my little small garden with some metal raised beds as well as a green stalk. So those you all who don't know, again, I'm in South Florida, Zone 11. So not 10B, not 10A. It's actually, yes, it is 11. That is correct according to my zip code. If you do not know your growing zone, please go online. Just type in your zip code and put what is my growing zone and your zip code, and it will tell you what your growing zone is. The almanac, the old-fashioned thing, it's still relevant. It will tell you exactly what to plant, when to plant, and how to plant it in your area. So that being said, let's get back to this. So I have a very small garden on the side of my house. I know in this video it looks like it might be kind of large, but it's actually at the smallest point is 16 by 32 with the widest angle being 22 across. So it's literally on the side of my house. It's in between the side of the home, and then there are some hedges on the other side. And then I have two large metal raised beds in the middle, and there's one in the back where that trellis wall is. On your back left, that's a trellis wall on a, say, 8 by 2 foot planter back there. And those I actually built from roofing tin sheets and lumber last year. So I wanted these metal raised beds to begin with, but everything has a cost, and I wasn't sure if I was really going to get into vegetable gardening the same way I have been plants. So I've been growing plants for years. We have new hedges put up on our property. We have flowers in the front. I have the courtyard, but a vegetable garden it's more work. And all the plants that we have at our home are all native type plants that once I get them to stay alive, like they're alive. The rainwater is enough. Maybe fertilizing once or twice a year is enough. And that's it. Like I don't have to do a whole lot. They're packed in close together, so I don't get a lot of weeds in the front or the back. It's lovely. The sprinklers that we have, our in-ground sprinklers, water everything. So we're really just, kind of floating through. The garden kind of takes care of itself. So I just really want to make sure that I was going to actually do this garden thing with fidelity before I was investing money into raised beds. But I was able to get the raised beds at a good price. And so I actually purchased 12 beds. And earlier this week, I had my in-ground sprinklers converted to these raised up sprinklers, which you saw me kind of bump it right there. Is that white pole that's in the middle of this bed I'm working on right here. There are 3 sprinklers over there. So the sprinklers initially were just the pop-up sprinklers that will come on. They come on like once a day, and if it rains, they don't come on. There is a rain gauge. So this is just your regular in-ground sprinklers. And I'm watering the garden like all the time because it gets hot down here and it takes so long to hand water the garden. And so one thing why I hadn't really kind of expanded is like I don't have to have even more to have to water. That's just more time, more work, more money on water. So I went ahead and I'm going to just pay somebody to come out and revamp these sprinklers. Found this great person, came out on Monday, made it within maybe an hour or so, if that. He had raised them up so they now will go over those other taller beds on the side. So the black beds that are kind of peeling on the left, they're actually 8 feet by 4 feet, and they're about 27 inches tall. So they're very tall. So he raised up those sprinklers so that they now rotate and they get all of the garden. So I don't have to actually go outside. I put the bed just around it to help protect it so that, people don't bump into it and break it. And I already had plants in the ground in this area, And I've been trying to figure out ways to like create a border around that area, just make it look like more cohesive and neat. And I had some ideas to go back with my wood border, because I did that on the left hand side, which I have to show you in a different video. And like I say, I ran into these planters on sale. I'm like, oh my gosh, these are perfect. They're perfect. They're what I wanted from the beginning. They're for a price I was willing to pay. And that's kind of it. And I was actually able to fit them over all except for one of my plants. I have one lemongrass plant in the front that has grown in between the fencing. But you see here, like, I have all the beds in. This is 10 of the beds. One of them you don't see in the front, but there are 10 beds in right now. The sprinklers are all protected. My in-ground plants look great inside of them because I didn't even have to start off with like an empty beds. They already have like pretty much fully grown plants, or getting their plants inside. And now I'm going to just put down this mulch. So I use cypress mulch. You can use cedar mulch. You can use logs or branches from your house to put inside your bed. So just help take up space. I don't have a lot of branching trees. I have palm trees mostly. And you see on the right hand side now, you can see the hedges are over there. And when I get those cut, sometimes I use them, sometimes I don't, because sometimes they're like weeds that have been growing like these vines, and then they will just help spread. And I don't want them to be spreading anywhere. I'm trying to get rid of the weeds and the grass, not add more to it. So I'm just spreading out this mulch to make it easier on myself when I go to put it inside of these raised beds. The purpose of the mulch is to take up space. And it's also it's really to take up space. That's the number one thing. Take up a lot of space. And the second thing is it helps to retain moisture. So when it rains here, it rains very heavily. But when it's not raining and it's just in between those rains, it's very hot, it's very dry. So your soil will dry out very quickly. So having that moisture barrier on the bottom just helps you to maintain the moisture of your plants without them being soggy. And again, to fill beds, it's really expensive when you're doing deep beds. So like my 2-foot high beds over there on the right hand side, I mean, that would be hundreds of dollars to fill those up if I were to do straight organic soil throughout, which is ridiculous. So I have mulch over there, and then I fill it up with topsoil on top, and I mix in compost really well. And as you can see, my plants on the left, them old looking little raggedy kind of looking tomato plants over there, have been in there since this past November. Okay, and they are indeterminate tomatoes, and you see they're doing fine. Our okra over there is doing great. Some patty pan squash, pineapples. It works. Okay, it works at my climate in tropical South Florida. So subtropical, tropical areas, at least in my little area down here, it works perfect. So I'm going to continue this same idea over here in these beds. So what I'm doing right now, I am putting in cardboard to help as a weed barrier. It'll help keep the weeds and grasses from growing up. The reason why I did not use regular landscaping fabric is I live in an area that is prone to flooding. Okay, and if it's raining a whole lot, I do not want this area to flood. So landscaping fabric will not allow the water to be absorbed into the ground. I want the water, I want the rain, I want whatever moisture to be absorbed back into the ground. I do not want to be flooding my house for the sake of having a garden on the side. So this cardboard breaks down, it becomes dirt, and then my plants will just suck up all that water. And it also help with any kind of flooding issues, because you have plants that are actually going to end up absorbing the water that's there. And also, for the most part, it was free. Like, these are actually the boxes that these beds came in. They came with little teeny tiny boxes that you see here, and I'm just recycling what I already have. So why go out and buy landscaping fabrics that are probably made of other plastics or materials, synthetic materials. This is another organic. It's going to break down, provide nutrients back to your soil and to your plants. Just make sure you take off all of the tape, or at least most of the tape. You see right here, I'm throwing away tape pieces. It's annoying. I did do this outside while it was still hot. You see, I did take breaks, like in between the process of putting the beds out, taking out some of the weeds, putting down the mulch, and there were breaks in between. But if you do leave the tape on there, give yourself about 2 weeks, you're going to see this like random trash in your garden. It's like, what's this plastic? That's the tape from those boxes that you didn't get all of the tape off of. It's fine, just throw it away after the fact, but try your best to get as much of that tape off of your boxes as possible. The ink that is on your box that's printed, it is actually not harmful. There was a law passed a while ago that they're not able to use inks with like certain dyes that can be harmful to you. So just FYI, if you do use scrap paper that has printed on ink, it's okay. It will decompose. One more thing as far as chemicals, your mulch. You have to use either an organic mulch, a cedar mulch, a bark cypress type mulch. You cannot use the pretty black and red and brown mulches that you would typically buy for your house. The reason is those have chemicals sprayed in them. So 2 things. One, those chemicals should not be eaten. But 2, those same chemicals will also cause your plants not to grow because they are made to be a weed barrier or a grass barrier. So they have chemicals to prevent things from growing. And we are trying to grow plants, grow food, or grow flowers. So you want to make sure that you're not putting those things on your anything you want to possibly eat. Also, if you're going to put down mulch, do not put it like right up against your fruit trees. You can put it in those beds with them, but just kind of keep it on the side, not directly on the trunk of those, because it can harm them. But again, this is all cypress mulch. It's going to break down. It will become dirt. These beds, because this is going to decompose, this is actually, because this is going to decompose, you will see some sinkage within your beds. That's natural. Some of it's going to escape from the bottom. Again, all that's natural. But when you just remember, if you fill your beds with all organic matter, I'm talking about not so much these wood chips, but talking about if you're using leaves and grass and food scraps and just like straight compost in your garden, you are going to lose a significant amount of cubic footage in your beds, because those things are not meant to be like a topsoil that's going to hold. So if you have holes in your yard, you fill up with topsoil because topsoil is dense and it's meant to be there. So you do want to actually have some kind of topsoil or sand in your beds so that they don't sink. If you watch some of my other videos, I actually show you what happened in my large raised beds, because I use that method of lots of organic matter. I use my palm leaves and I use like pine needles and all other stuff to like fill in the beds, only to have them just drop significantly within a few months. Cocoa coir is great. I love cocoa coir for my seedlings, but it should not be used in your beds as like a main ingredient, because like I said, you're going to have significant shrinkage, dropping, whatever you want to call it, within a matter of months, if not like 2 months, like about 8 weeks. If you live somewhere that's very warm like we do, that it's going to have that high humidity helps to decompose things. So between the moisture and the heat, it increases the rate of items decomposing. So your compost will do really well down here because it has the heat it needs. So I've gone through and I've put down dirt. This one has mulch. I put down my topsoil. I blended it in that one. And over here, I put down my topsoil here as well. It's kind of, it's looking so nice. I'm really liking the way it's looking. So the topsoil has gone on. I now have to go back. I'm gonna plant seedlings in my cup so I can start some new plants in there. I need to put in my compost in them, but that topsoil and the mulch are all in the beds. So I'm gonna go ahead on right now. I'm gonna lay down these rocks right in front of the beds. I am going to keep that landscaping timber, so I need to move these bricks over here on the left over just a few more inches. I need maybe another bag, a couple of bags of rocks to finish off, but it looks so good. Let me just zoom out so you all can see how it looks. It looks so good. Okay, so right here I have my new GreenStalk. I'm so excited to get this open. Super, super excited about this. I wanted one for so long. This is the 5-tiered one. I didn't want it to be too tall. Oh, it's kind of big. I need 2 hands for this. Hold on 1 second. Okay, so it's all out. The tiers. Let's see. Yes. Oh, this is the parts that go in between. And this is the water. Oh, I guess it didn't come with a cap. Okay, I think the new one comes with like a water cap now. So I'm going to try to find a cap because I'm going to need a cap, so I don't end up with mosquitoes and snakes and stuff inside of it down here in my climate. So I'm going to definitely need to get a cap for this. Okay, so I'm going to mix up my soil mixture into here. So I have my topsoil here. I have a bag of in-ground soil here. And then right here I have my sand. And then in here I have some compost. This is cow manure and some mushroom compost that I put some sweet potato slips into, but they're gonna actually grow in there. It's too thick. I'm gonna thin all this out and put it in here too, it's fine. Okay, and we're gonna put it into our new GreenStalk. So we put our sand in there, some of our compost is in there, and our topsoil. And we're gonna mix this all together. Your clothes is getting dirty. Yeah. See how that was like, how I mix this all up. Okay, so she's filling up that container. We're working on all of these. Just gonna fill them up with our mixture.
This is not a mixture.
Once I mix it up, it's gonna be a mixture. Oh. Yep. I'll fill it to the top. Okay, so I'm gonna top it off now with some mulch on top. These have been topped. She's still adding some more.
For my dirt castle.
Your dirt castles. She's making dirt castles down there. We're almost finished. It's so hot out here. Like, I was glad to be done. But it just looks so much better back here than it did before. I think our little transformation really is a true transformation. It just looks so good. I don't put too much. Yes, baby. Oh, you perfect. Yes. It's just your dirt castle. Ooh. There you go. GreenStalk, dirt castle. Thank you so much for watching another video. If you haven't done so, please subscribe and like our videos.